Hi, welcome to the Microsoft Expert Community Sessions. Our goal in these sessions is to bring you the best Microsoft experts to help educate and inspire you to get the most out of Microsoft. Today, we are changing things up from our normal sessions with a different format of being more interactive. We have two very special guests joining us for Q&A on how to become a Microsoft MVP. If you don't know what that stands for, it is Microsoft's most valuable professional. We will have real talk on combining being involved in a tech community, which is an essential part of being an MVP, how to juggle, maintain a regular job, as well as motherhood/parenthood. So before we get started, a quick introduction from me. My name is Paul Sutton. I'm part of the Ticket team. For those who don't know, Ticket is the leading Microsoft-aligned IT service management solution built for Microsoft Teams. It leverages the Microsoft Cloud. And so I do want to introduce our special guests, which is Izzy and Femke. I will let them introduce themselves in a moment, but let me just say they are tremendous forces in the Microsoft community. They really help people come together, learning, inspiring, networking across Microsoft technologies. I've personally known Izzy for 12 plus years, maybe 13 years now. And it's wonderful to
We're
see
getting
Izzy
old,
how
Paul. We're getting
we
old.
are getting old. We are definitely getting old. And it's been wonderful to see Izzy grow and flourish in her own career. And not only is she a friend of mine, but also a friend to so many in the community. And if you don't know, Izzy runs Experts Life in Europe. And you haven't been to that, you should. It's an excellent conference. And I've also had the pleasure of meeting Femke in Prague, which is a beautiful city, last year at Experts Life as well. So thank you both for joining. I think it's a great time to get started. So welcome, hi, good afternoon. You're not in the same office, but you were going to be in the same office, weren't you, today? So we're all doing this remote. And yeah, do you want to kick it off, Izzy? Just a quick introduction on who you are?
Yeah, sure. So, hi everybody. Thank you very much for watching and listening this episode. Paul, thank you very much for the invite. It's great to be here. As you mentioned before, we're doing this remotely. I am in the Netherlands at the moment, so I'm pretty close to Femke. Yet we're still a bit apart. So great to have Microsoft Teams. As you mentioned before, I'm a Microsoft MVP. I'm based in Switzerland. However, I grew up here in the Netherlands, so I'm here currently visiting for a conference, the Experts Live Dutch edition, as well as a bit of a family visit. So it's always very nice to be here. Although I have to say it's very rainy and cloudy, and I'm not missing that part of being in the Netherlands. Apart from that, I work as a Microsoft community manager at Experts Insight. It's an IT consulting firm in Switzerland where I'm involved in all our activities, Microsoft third-party events, their own events, ensuring that we attend those conferences as well with Experts Insight, organize everything for marketing and our booth presence, our social media activities. So yeah, that always keeps me pretty busy on the market. And then as a side, yeah, hustle, hobby, passion, I would say is being an MVP, which we will talk about a lot more in the next 20 minutes of this episode. So yeah, before we dive into that, let's head over to Femke, whom I've had the pleasure to also meet multiple times in the community. We touch base on the same topics, and I think it's great that we're together in the session. So let's head over to Papendrecht. I think Paul wants to repeat the name of that city.
I haven't had enough coffee yet.
Let's hear it from Femke.
Thank you, Izzy. My name is Femke. I live in the Netherlands. I'm working at Wortel as a chief co-pilot. I think that's the best role name you can have at the moment. What I'm doing at Wortel is that I'm responsible for the business line productivity, and that's everything with information management, Power Apps, Power Platform, Copilot, and I'm responsible for the innovation and the sales. I'm one of the creators of Dutch Women in Tech. That's a community based in the Netherlands where we're helping people get involved in tech and finding their way here in the Netherlands. So really nice doing that and get more women in this field. And I'm also organizing together with a lot of people Expert Life Netherlands. That was last week and was really awesome to see Easy there. Yeah,
Awesome.
Been quite an event.
Yeah. Well, that's great. And, I really appreciate, of course, you taking time to join, but also just getting to learn a little bit about your own backgrounds. And, for today's session, one of the core things was really focusing on, how people can become an MVP. So I guess one of the most natural questions is, how did you get in IT? Was that something that you purposely set out to do? You really wanted to work in IT? Did it just happen? I have a really interesting story where I never thought I was going to be in IT. At one point I wanted to be a realtor, a real estate agent. It was sort of during, it was just sort of during the late 90s, showing my age here. I was at college and I was working part-time at this computer store in the UK. And to give you some context of just how little I knew about IT, I was describing the internet as a giant newspaper to people, but people were so like in the infancy of IT. They're like, "Oh, really? That's great. That's great." And then when I started looking for a job after college, I had that on my resume, and people just thought, "Well, you can turn a computer on." It was like Y2K. It was a .com bubble, and then I just fell into IT, and then I never looked back. So that's kind of my journey. So how about you two? How did you get into IT?
Are you starting, Easy? Oh, I want to start? Yeah, that's fine.
You go.
I started as a photographer, so I had my own business there. And after I'm traveling around the world, making some pictures at a lot of companies, and I really enjoyed this, I was thinking, okay, maybe I need find a job that is always changing, because I love changing, where I can learn and more like building a family, so not always traveling a lot. So I was thinking, okay, I'm going to one of my customers, and that was an IT company, and I started there as a marketeer. And then everything changed, because after a few years I giving a lot of sessions, and after a lot of years I also beginning and team lead of that team. And after a few years I was already involved in the community, and now I know that traveling, sharing knowledge, going around the world is something that I really is me, and that's that I can do that with my kids, also can do that with a family, and that is something that I really enjoy and really like. So I stopped my company for building a family, and now knowing that's just me, that I don't need to stop. Yeah.
That's awesome. And with the photography, was it particular type of photography? Are you doing weddings or more?
A lot of different things. I actually worked for Google in Dubai. I was there a few months, and I did some work in New York. But I also did a lot of work in the Netherlands. So I did it for 6 years. Most of the time I did some fashion and some more like just normal businesses, different businesses. Then I started in IT, and it was quite a journey. Yeah, what I saw there was really nice to see that you are different, for example. So I was a marketeer, so I know all the new kind of stuff, what is coming, and I wrote different blogs about it, and really enjoying that it's always changing. And I think that was the first step for me, that I was thinking, okay, I want to learn more. and want to do more in IT. Yeah.
Nice. Well, that's a really interesting background and sounds very glamorous too if you're traveling the world. So yeah, yeah.
We try to.
Was there a particular country that you really enjoyed?
For now, with what we are doing with the conferences or where we sometimes speak, it's always interesting to go to new places. For example, Expert Live Europe in Budapest. I've never been there, so I really enjoying going there, helping Easy, and also giving a session, and then have a little bit time to explore the some places over there, and that's really fantastic to do, and it's great to have people around you that can help you with that.
For sure, for sure. Izzy, how did you get into IT?
Yeah, also as many of us through like some form of a detour. So I was always interested in technology. I always liked computers. Very early on, we had a computer at home. I had an engineering family, so it was something which was always triggering me. But I also very, very much loved children, so I wanted to be a teacher. And so during my studies in Amsterdam, in the Netherlands, I would work part-time for an ISV based in the Netherlands. And of course, that's how I entered the Microsoft space in 2011. So yeah, indeed, like 13 years ago. And I was very, very interested in how the technology was evolving, and very soon, just like Femke, I got opportunities to like travel the world, go to US, meet Cybersecurity very early on in the journey, and I was so touched by everything in the IT business. It was really, really interesting. So it kind of pulled me away from teaching into the IT world, but then I also found ways to combine it. So for example, in 2020, at the very start of COVID, I was actually in Vietnam, and I was in Indonesia, and I was teaching children computer classes. So it was like a beautiful way to combine IT and teaching into one. So I did never fully leave the passion of teaching children, but I did stick around in the IT business by choice then. Yeah. So I think like Femke also said, I think there's always something happening. There's all the time new technology. We're now like this whole era of AI and like all these changes and improvements and features. It just does not stop. It does not get boring. Like every single day, there's something new to learn. And I'm very happy to be in this industry that's like really evolving all the time.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it is a constant, AI, it was a cloud, and I'm kind of curious where AI goes. I mean, it's incredible, especially using ChatGPT and all the good things that comes out of that. And then with your own IT careers, when did you become an MVP?
Yeah, for me, it's not a long time ago, 1.5 years, I think. Yeah. For you, AC?
It's almost 4 years. Yeah.
4 years. Yeah. So I think 1.5 years ago it was my time. Yeah. And it actually came when I thought, okay, it's never gonna happen. Then it was the time. Yeah.
I also, now that you say that, I also think that's exactly what an MVP is. It's not something that you can just like, check the boxes, you take the boxes and bam, now you're an MVP. It's like you really need to be present, be active for somebody to notice you. It's not something that you can decide, oh, I want to be an MVP, and like I put in my name and I tick these boxes and I'm done. No, it's like you really need to be seen and heard and active. And it's really a journey. I would describe it that way. It's not just something you can do and it's done, but it's really a journey, and it's a little bit in your own hands, but it's also out of your hands because you need another Microsoft MVP or a Microsoft FTE. So that's like a full-time employee to nominate you And
How
to
many
really
nominations how many nominates times that you had? One or?
I got it in the first go. I got nominated and then immediately got accepted into the award. Well, I think it takes like up to 90 days.
Yeah.
And once the cycle ended, I received the award. Yeah. You?
9 times.
9?
Yeah, 9 times. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
And
So you
also
got
a lot of-
nominated 9 times.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
through different people in the same time. So it was 9 times that I'm nominated quite good time. So every 90 days I had a new nomination, I think. But also people asking me, can I nominate you? And then I say, oh no, I already have 4 people.
Oh, like that. Well, in that
Yeah.
terms, I of course also more numbers, but I mean like with one nomination and then I received it. That's what I did not count the amount of but I meant like in one cycle I managed to get
Oh yeah, I took 9 cycles, but it's it was it was a nice way. It was a humble road. Yeah.
Well, I
So
think it's nice that it shows.
Oh, go on, Izzy.
Yeah, I think it's nice that it shows that even if you get declined 9 times, like don't give up. Like keep on going, and at one point it will happen. Like don't get demotivated because it did not happen the 9 times before. You see, then the 10th time, there you are, right? So it's a journey which takes a while. It can take longer, it can take shorter. It also depends on your impact. And but I think Femke's story is a beautiful story of not to give up on that dream of becoming a Microsoft MVP.
Yeah, and I ask a lot of people if they can give me some feedback, and one of the things is that's really nice to ask people, but everyone say something different. So my advice is ask a few people. And what I saw was the first time I was making a lot of content for my organization where I work for, and that doesn't count. You need to do it by yourself. So you make your own website or your own content, and it's not company related. So that's one of the things that I learned in the beginning. And people saying, okay, you need to show leadership. So you need to be present, need to be seeing people need to know you. And I think that's the thing that worked for me in the last times that I nominated. I get more active and people seeing me at conferences and knowing who you are. But yeah, you can get a lot of different feedback and just doing the things I think that you like the most. So being active, you can make like podcasts, you can make a webinar, you can make a website, or you can creating a conference or a meetup. You can do a lot of things, but I think the real magic is going to happen if you find people around you to do it together. Building together and doing the things that you really, really love, and not because you think it's good to make some blog post or something like that because you want to be an MVP.
Right. And then going back to the nominations, do you just need one nomination? And is that nomination, does it have to be from a fellow MVP?
Yeah, or a Microsoft employee. And then you in the program and you can put some contributions over there, and then it takes 90 days. And if you don't hear anything, then you're not an MVP. And if you hear something, then you're an MVP. The thing that I did was I heard nothing for 19 days and I just wait 1 year. I thought I was already still in the program, but I was not. So that's also you don't know that you're not in a program anymore.
Right. Yeah. So, one of the core things then really is to be active in the community, to be a thought leader, to be authentic with, whether you're doing podcasts, you're doing blogs, you have your own website, but really just immerse yourself in a community with other fellow MVPs. And I guess actually that community vibe is probably a really good question for you, Izzy, kind of going back to, the introductions that we just did. Experts Live. Now, I'm assuming lots of people that are going to watch this video are going to know Izzy straight away. But for those who don't, how did you get involved with Experts Live and become the guru that you are with that excellent event?
Yeah, so actually, I know the Experts Live brand from the very beginning when it was started by Microsoft MVP and RD, and now also a direct colleague from Femke at Vertel, Maarten Goed. So he
Mm-hmm.
started the brand in the Netherlands, and since then I've seen it evolve into a huge conference it is nowadays. And then the company in Switzerland where I was working, ITnetics, at that time, Microsoft MVP and also RD, Marcel Zenner, was part of the System Center Universe conference. And of course, it was very System Center focused. And then as the technology was evolving. Of course, we had cloud. We realized that the community wants a more broader event. So that's actually when we rebranded the System Center Universe event into the Experts Live family, and the multiple SCU events did the same. So I've been actually actively involved in the brand since 2017, really as an organizer, but I attended the conferences before that as well. So I really go a long way back. And then the European edition, we host it once every year, and then we tour across Europe. So, for example, last year we had an edition in Prague, in Czech Republic. This year we're going in September. We're going to Budapest at the Budapest Congress Center in Hungary, and it's so it's not like a country event. Like a country event is a one-day event. It's mainly focused on the local community, in the local language, local speakers. And the European edition really attracts 25 plus countries attending the conference. All sessions are in English. We have speakers, many from the MVP and RD community, as well as from Microsoft directly, who are also coming to present. So I think my passion of teaching comes back into organizing Experts Live Europe, because you really bring hundreds of people together to teach them that. I mean, of course, the international speakers, they do the actual breakout session, but it's really bringing that community together of speakers, sponsors, attendees to learn more about Microsoft technologies, to get better in their job every day. And not just the tech part, because a lot of the tech knowledge you can find online. I think it's also so important that we still meet in person. And for me, attending conferences or organizing conference or speaking has opened so many doors in so many ways, in getting a new job, or yeah, one other activity. I'm on the board at the Microsoft Global Community Initiative, which is basically a program ran by Microsoft together with the community. So we work together to sort of like create a bridge. How can Microsoft support local communities worldwide? So there we offer like event trainings, or we have like monthly general sessions where we discuss upcoming topics in the community, events which are coming up. We have a website called communitydays.org, where we basically bundle all the events that are run by communities around the world. And yeah, with Experts Live being one of them, it's one of my biggest passion, coming together in 3 days in Budapest. And I hope anybody who's interested to learn more about Microsoft cloud, data centers, security, AI, modern workplace technologies sees value of joining us in September.
Well, and you took me, a trip down memory lane there, because when we first met and you said System Center Universe, can you remember the city that we met?
Houston. I think we met in Houston.
So maybe it was either Houston or Bern in Switzerland.
Could have, yeah. So in Bern, yes. I remember definitely you were there. I think that was 2013.
Yeah.
And I believe in 2014. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think 2014 we then met in Houston, also at an SCU event. Yeah, like you said, we're getting old.
We are. And then we went to the whole system center, and even for Saracen, I mean, that's been our own evolution of being so focused on System Center, transitioning to Microsoft Teams, M365. But yeah, and I think as well, just listening to you talk about Experts Live and being an MVP and wanting to be an MVP, just how essential it is to do that networking, to be part of that community. And you know, Experts Live is a great place to do it. You know, there's so many MVPs there. I mean, do you even know how many MVPs go to Experts Live? I mean,
So we
there's a
have like
lot,
around,
hundreds.
yeah. I mean, we have in the speaker lineup, we have over 60 speakers, and I would say over 90% is Microsoft MVP or RD. Then we always have like a few spots for new coming speakers who want to be an MVP. So we definitely want to build a platform for those too. And I think that's maybe something Femke can also tell more about the Dutch Women in Tech or the Microsoft Security Program, where you really try to get people who are not an MVP yet, but who are on that journey or who want to come into tech or want to learn more about the IT business to really like suck them into our world.
Yeah, it's really fantastic. Also, people showing up and saying after, okay, I want to do the same thing as what you do. Can you help me to get started, to start like start speaking, and where can I start? Can you help me? So a lot of people don't know, like, for example, Sessionize. Just put on a profile there and share who you are and apply to a conference and start with speaking or start with a meetup. A lot of people don't know how many meetups there are or where the meetups actually are. So it's really nice helping people there to get their first presentation or finding people around. And you need to find people who can help you and believe in you. And sometimes it's a small thing that can make a big change and a big difference for that people. But also in Dutch Women in Tech, what we're doing is like an 8-week program for cybersecurity. That's our girls who never have anything with IT before, but just thinking about maybe we want to start in cyber. Maybe we like that. So what we do is like 8 weeks, different Microsoft partners coming together and talking about the EC 900, the exam, and giving them lessons in that. And after 8 weeks, they get their exam and get their certification. And we thought, okay, how many people were joining us? Yeah, we had like 75 in the Netherlands, but we also had like 200 worldwide who were joining us in this. And now I think in the Netherlands, like 10 people are starting in jobs that they that we never thought that they are going to join the tech. Yeah. So it's amazing to help people in the beginning, but also help them with the speaker opportunities or I think that's community for helping others, and it's not like I don't know what I want to say. It's really amazing.
It's you really are there one for another. It's not you join and then it's done. It's like an ongoing contribution and effort to really helping each other. And it's not like once you're in the community, you're only helping others. I also very much learn myself from community or from attending events or other MVPs I very much look up to. So I really see it as a cycle. Like also being an MVP, it's you learn so much from others and you have so much to give yourself. So it's really,
and I think it's also important to have like a role model. Isidora are really a role model for me, really. And it's amazing to see that. And I hope I can do the same. So that's what we're doing.
Well, and I think it's beautiful too. And, you know, one thing that's always struck me about this community is it feels like a family. I mean, it feels like there's so many like deep relationships that people build. And, you know, there's always like this tremendous feel-good factor when you see people grow and flourish. You know, we've all done it, and it's wonderful. And if you can help someone on their journey, that's why we do it, right? So it's always nice. And sort of talking of that, you know, the MVP family. I know we're all parents here, and that's always a struggle for people. There's never enough time in the day. You've got your own day job, then you've got family. There's always so many, you know, competing commitments. You know, Izzy, I know that you've got some, you know, interesting stories of motherhood, being, you know, a rock star in the community.
You know what my solution is, Paul? I just bring her along.
I
have a conference and bring the little one with me. That's the way to learn it, you know?
can she code yet?
She can. Oh yes. Oh yes.
Really? Yeah, that's awesome. Well, do you want to elaborate on that story of when, was it in the US that you had a conference and you had to bring your daughter with you?
I did, yeah. So I had to, it was actually, well, speaking of the MVP, so I think one of the very nice benefits of being a Microsoft MVP, you get once per year, you get invited to the headquarters in Redmond. So you really go to the Microsoft campus. You get to sit with product groups, attend sessions, you hear about the future, upcoming features, they get your feedback. But also lots of interaction with other MVPs. So that's definitely a huge benefit of being in the program. And yeah, I really, really wanted to bring the little one along, and I did. And luckily, I have a friend, a very good friend, Holly Lehman, who is based very near Seattle. So it was actually a perfect combination to enjoy a little bit of the US, bring the little one with me, have a friend take care of her while I'm in sessions. And then also on the last day, Femke was there as well when my little one really came on campus, and we took some pictures at the Microsoft sign. And I just think it's going to be very nice for her when, I don't know, in 10 years or something, when she sees those pictures. And who knows what her future will bring, whether she will go into IT. I mean, I have a bit of a feeling she might, with both parents being in the tech industry. Who knows? I mean, she can do, of course, whatever her heart desires. But I think it's cool if she can then have a picture when she was like 2 year old standing at the Microsoft sign already.
Definitely.
Funny story. 2 weeks ago, it was my birthday, and
Happy birthday!
Yeah, thank you. And my son was came to me and he said, "Oh, it's your birthday, so you can choose what we're going to do today. And do you want to go to Microsoft today? Because you're always smiling when you go to work." So something like that. I was really, yeah, it was really funny that I was thinking, okay, he knows that I'm really enjoying work, and he say, "Okay, shall we go to your work? Because I know you really like that." I really like that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. And what about you? What sort of advice would you say for sort of juggling, you know, work and family and being an MVP?
I think you have quite good friends around you, and parents and a partner who can support you in this, because yeah, you don't have to do everything. You don't have to go to all the conference. You don't have to speak everywhere. You can also making webinars or that kind of stuff in your time that you think is the best. But I think you need to have people around you who understand why you're doing this and why you like this. Otherwise, it's really hard, I think. Yeah. So I also bring sometimes my kids to conference, and when it's in the Netherlands, it's just for an hour or 2 hours, just say hi and want to know them, let them learn how it is where I am, people around me, and understand what we do, what I do, and what's where I am then. So I'm talking with them about what I do and why I really like it. And now they both say that they also want to work at Microsoft. I don't know.
Where?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's really important to do something that you really like and really enjoying. So the time effort that you have at home, it doesn't matter if it's something you do with passion and fun.
More
Yeah,
passion.
I mean,
more passion.
yeah, isn't the saying it's not a job when you enjoy it? So, you know, I think that's essential. And then with your own careers, you know, what's the best advice that you received during your career? That's really sort of inspiration.
Best advice. I think the best thing that happened to me was that I'm going to the first time going to a conference and seeing people on the stage and thinking, okay, maybe one day I can do this. But actually talking with people who I normally saw on the television or on the screen, and that everyone is really want to help you and the community is there for you to support you and helping you grow. So I think the best advice in my career is going to conferences like Expert Life Europe or Expert Life Netherlands or all kind of conferences, and making that step together and just go. Some people, I think some people are really struggling with going to conferences. I see that for a lot of women. I see that also. Going to a conference and thinking that there are a lot of only men. But I think that it changed my my career the past years. Yeah. So my advice is doing it. Yeah.
Get involved.
I'm also totally with Femke on that one. I also think even the advice I received was like, don't be afraid. Like Femke said, you would think, oh, like it's a male dominated world in IT, but actually it's good to see that there's big changes going on. We're not there yet. We still have a long way to go, but I do definitely think that people like Femke and myself, that we should set that sample for our kids and for the next generation. Like, okay, look at us. Well, we're women. We're at the conference. We're speaking. We're on stage. We're organizing.
Do this.
Yeah. So yeah, and also anyone who's watching and listening, and doesn't matter the gender, like whatever advice or help you want from us, just let us know, ping us. You can find our Twitter handles and our contact details. If you're looking for a mentor or if you have any advice for us, or feel free to connect with us and to keep in touch for the future.
Well, I always think that's so humbling about you two and your personalities, is that I know that you're a mentor to many people, and you're always so generous with that time. And I guess actually just sort of summarizing that MVP path, I can put a PowerPoint, I'll just share that real quick, of some sort of basic steps. And let me just do that real quick. One moment, please.
Yeah.
And then I also have your contact information. If people do want to reach out, they can. And can you see that okay?
Yes. Yeah, so feel free to connect.
Yeah, well, just to sort of summarize and please chime in, but one of the core things is, if you do want to become an MVP, is build your case, be authentic, join that community. As Femke said, see if there's a place for you to start to be a speaker, whether that's doing podcasts, writing blogs, get on that speaking circuit, go to these events, and then naturally through that process actually get to know other people in the industry, particular MVPs. That's one of the core things, is for you to get nominated, you do need to be nominated by a fellow MVP. And then once you do get that nomination, and you are becoming an MVP, it's not a destination, it's a journey. It's something you continuously have to do, but enjoy and have fun. Is anything else that you would add to that sort of journey?
I would add just one more thing. So indeed, like you said, it's like it's a journey, it's not a destination. It's not once you have the MVP and now you're done for life. No, you get every year, you need to get re-awarded. So you need to like put in your contributions, you need to stay active. Like the job is not done by just becoming an MVP and now that's it. Like you have to remain active in communities. So whether you're helping with coding or you're blogging or speaking at events or doing webinars, there are many ways you can contribute. So it's really an ongoing journey and community commitment to keep up.
Yeah, and I don't think it's not a goal. That's something I want to add. It's not a goal to be an MVP. It's just doing the things you like, and then be good at it, and then you get rewarded.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of key to everything, right? Is to just do it because you want to do it, and do it for those right reasons. And not to do a shameless plug, Izzy, but for people that haven't heard of Experts Live, that truly is one of the greatest places to go and just to see so many people in this community. And there's Experts Live Europe, but there's also Experts Live UK. Actually, one of our team members, Jeff Ross, he's actually part of that team that's starting it, and I think events, that's another good place for people to join. And anything else that you would add to how to become an MVP that we've missed?
I think all is said.
The only
All
thing
right.
I miss is finding people and work together with. That's also
Yeah, have fun. And then, yeah, we do have any questions, feel free to reach out to Ticket, so team@ticket.ai. Plus, there's Izzy's and Femke's information here. You can follow them on LinkedIn, Twitter, and also any of those Expert Lives events, they'll be there too.